Hi everyone, welcome back to my Aussie story. My name is Janina Sherry, and for today we'll be talking about being a tradie in Australia. Is it a career you should consider? I grew up in a society which believes that working in an office is the way to go, and that being a tradesman doesn't really equate to having a good future. In the Philippines, which is my country of origin, tradesmen generally don't earn well and are unfortunately thought of to be inferior. This is not the case here in Australia, as trades jobs are some of the most sought after careers, and rightly so. If you're an immigrant in Australia who's trying to find a new career to pursue, I'd suggest considering becoming a tradie. Keep on watching to figure out if it's something that you see yourself becoming. So, what is a tradesman? A tradesman, more commonly called as a tradie here in Australia, is a skilled worker who has a high degree of expertise and knowledge of his or her particular trade. Tradies are among Australia's top wage earners, but their job can be tough and physically demanding. Is it a lesser profession? Well, let's see. First off, tradesmen wouldn't need to go into a large sum of debt to pursue a university degree. In fact, they'd already be making money as they work on their qualifications while they're still an apprentice. They wouldn't have to worry about employability because their skills are always needed, hence the high earning potential. So no, I don't think it's a quote-unquote lesser profession. From what I've seen, Australians usually have a high regard for tradies. I think this is mainly because they earn good money. But of course, there are still some myths surrounding the profession. One being that tradies are less intelligent, but this isn't true. We have to remember that there's more than one form of intelligence. Tradesmen are mechanically inclined, great problem solvers, and are creative tinkerers and creators. There's also the misconception that those who choose to become a tradie do so because they have no other choice but to work with their hands. Though this may be the case for a few, most go into their trade knowing that it's what they'll be best at and that attending uni and eventually working in an office isn't for them. Basically, they choose to become a tradie because doing a skilled trade is simply what they prefer. Different kinds of tradies. The most common positions that people usually think of when talking about trades jobs are electricians, carpenters, bricklayers, and plumbers. But being a tradie can mean any number of roles other than the ones that we've just mentioned. For example, there are also the high-paying trades jobs in the mines. Obviously, the duties and salary would vary depending on the trade. Is it a good career? Well, yes, I believe that becoming a tradesman is a good career. There are a couple of reasons as to why I think that is. One of the reasons is the high demand. Since there will always be demand for the skills that tradies offer, there would always be work available for them. Someone would always be needing their plumbing fixed, their house built, and so on and so forth. In fact, there are a lot of trades jobs where there is more demand for skilled workers than there are workers available. For example, boilermakers. They are in high demand, particularly here in Queensland and in Western Australia, where the mining industry thrives. Another reason is that there is no university degree needed. As many of you know, completing a university degree takes many years and would most likely amount to a large sum of debt. This wouldn't be an issue to those who are going to pursue a career as a tradie. Though getting your qualification as a tradesman usually takes between 1 to 4 years, as there's the apprenticeship, there shouldn't be a big debt for you at the end. Firstly, because there are government-funded training programs available, and also due to the fact that you'll get paid for the practical work that you do while you complete your qualification, as you learn the majority of your skills on the job through working in an apprenticeship. And last but not the least, a great reason to be a tradie is that they get paid really well. Like I have mentioned many times before, tradesmen are often well paid and receive good benefits. And of course, they can earn even better when they develop more skills, with proper trade qualification. Many tradies also end up establishing their own businesses where they have full control of the work that they do and potentially earn more. What is the nature of the job? The nature of the job is generally known to be tough and physically demanding, but it would slightly differ depending on the actual trade. A lot of skilled trades involve getting dirty, sweaty, and grimy. And because tradesmen mostly spend their days working outdoors, they're exposed to the sun, heat, rain, and cold. That, along with early mornings, long hours, and dangerous work, can be hard on the body. Also, tradies often work at different sites, so there may be lots of travel. Some of them work on a 7 on, 7 off schedule. How does one become a tradie? If you're now interested in becoming a tradesman, you'd first need to complete an apprenticeship to gain your trade qualification. To do that, you'd need to: Number 1, check your eligibility. There are different eligibility requirements per state, but they're usually to do with a minimum age and citizenship. Have a read of my written post in the link in the description for a more detailed list of the general criteria, but be sure to also check the eligibility requirements in your state. Number 2, you'd need to get an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is a combination of a structured training and paid work. To get an apprenticeship, you would need to find an employer who would be willing to take you on. You can be employed either directly by a business or through a GTO. If it's directly by a business, you can find an apprenticeship positions being advertised online on a variety of sites like Seek, Indeed, Apprenticeship Central, MEGT, Mass Experience, and of course, Job Active. On the other hand, you could go through a group training organization. GTRs are organizations who help place apprentices and trainees with a host employer. You can find your local GTRs through sites like Apprentice Employment Network and Australian Apprenticeships. Number 3, you'd also have to choose a training organization. Training organizations are your courses and qualifications provider. The trainings are usually offered in different ways. You can do it in person, online, or work-based. Number 4, complete a training contract and other documentations. A training contract is a legally binding document which sets out the agreement between the apprentice and the employer to work and train together for a period of time. There would also be other documentations required, like a white card or prepare to work safely card. Just be sure to read everything carefully. Number 5, complete your apprenticeship. There's nothing much to say about this, just complete your training and hours. As I've mentioned before, an apprenticeship typically lasts between 1 to 4 years to complete. What are the downsides of being a tradie? Well, like any other job, there are downsides to being a tradie. These are as follows: high risk of injury, long hours, having to travel to follow work. As a result, you may be away from your family and friends, having to endure extreme weather while working outdoors, hard physical work. Over time, this can wear down a person's body, maybe ripped off by dodgy contractors. Some may experience job insecurity in certain situations, like when working for a labor hire company or project work. A way to know whether or not a company is shady is if they have a high turnover rate. If they do, it'd be best to avoid them. Note that not all tradesmen experience these and not always to the same extent. Now that you have all of this information, what are your thoughts about becoming a tradie? Do you see yourself as one? Let us know in the comments below. For more information about apprenticeships, you can check out Australian Apprenticeships, MEGT, and Fair Work. And that's it for today. Please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, and visit myaussiestory.com if you'd like to see more of my journey and experiences as an immigrant here in Australia. Thanks for watching. See ya!